Some superstars have created a big conspiracy that's becoming a lot of fun to talk about. We'll also check out what's going on with Liv Morgan, the Judgment Day, and more. Starting things off with this big WWE storyline conspiracy that's being fueled by two big stars at the moment. And that's the conspiracy of the WWE referees and their big integrity that's being compromised. And there's been a lot of corruption amongst the WWE officials, who are supposed to call matches fairly and right down the middle. The originator of this theory and conspiracy is obviously Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has been in a quiet feud with the WWE referee Jessika Carr since the mixed tag loss on September 20th. That's when Becky initially started this conspiracy, claiming that she never tapped out and that Jessika Carr ruled the match in CM Punk and AJ's favor because Jessica was already a big fan of them. Becky supported her case by showing pictures of Jessika Carr at CM Punk's meet and greets as a fan, and even a more recent picture of Jessica and Punk posing together backstage. Jessika Carr would go on to be the referee in every single Becky Lynch match from September 20th to current day. And oddly enough, Becky Lynch is completely winless in all those recent matches that were officiated by Jessika Carr. Becky Lynch put up a stat line of 0 wins and 5 losses in those recent matches that saw Jessika Carr serve as the official, which has made Becky open up the conversation that Jessika Carr is supposedly out to get her, making sure that Becky loses every single match. Becky even raised the stakes after Survivor Series, saying that she will continue to boycott Raw until the War Games outcome is reversed and she gets her Intercontinental title back, and that Jessika Carr receives a suspension for her corrupt officiating. Jessika Carr has commented on Becky Lynch a few times over the last few weeks, acknowledging that Becky is crazy and needs help. But Jessika Carr did fire another recent shot back at Becky Lynch. Hours before the December 1st edition of Raw went on air, Jessika Carr took to her Instagram story to post a picture of the Raw graphic that she posted backstage, but Jessika herself put a clown emoji over Becky's face. And this was pretty wild and funny action because, strangely enough, this gesture by Jessika Carr does kind of help Becky's case and argument. A WWE official, someone that's supposed to be completely non-biased, is taking to their Instagram and posting clown emojis over certain talents' faces, which is pretty wild to do when you're a referee. Definitely seems like confirmation that Jessika Carr has a personal vendetta against Becky Lynch of some sorts, which is understandable, since Becky has made some wild claims in recent weeks. But at the same time, it's kind of out of bounds for a referee to fire back like that. Imagine a real-life situation in a football or basketball game where a referee makes a call that causes a player to lose the game. The player gets mad and calls a referee out, and then the referee goes out on social media and posts a clown face emoji over the player's picture. Chances are that specific referee in question will be instantly pulled from the games and investigated right away. That's absolutely how the events would play out in any real-life situation, so it's quite funny that in WWE that doesn't really apply. Jessika Carr can be putting a clown emoji over Becky's face, laugh at her, and then go on and officiate several matches that same night without anyone batting an eye. So in the referee world in the WWE universe, it's definitely different compared to any other sport. And this is pretty much Becky's argument. She wants people to see that she's completely winless in all these matches that Jessika Carr officiates, and how Jessica pokes fun back at Becky, yet no one is really paying any attention to Becky's claims here. It's also pretty funny that Adam Pearce sees these ongoing issues between Becky and Jessica, and rather than try to calm the matter down and make another referee call Becky's matches, he continues to roll Jessica out to every single one of Becky's matches, which also kind of validates Becky's criticisms of Adam Pearce as well, because what kind of general manager is he if he's not making adjustments and trying to calm down the situation between Jessica and Becky? He's continuing to roll out Jessika Carr as the referee for Becky's matches, when the character should know by now that there's some sort of bad blood there on both sides. So the fact that Adam Pearce doesn't make any adjustments there to that issue also kind of supports Becky's case that Adam Pearce is questionable too. It's definitely a strange story. We still don't know where it's going. Will Becky eventually get what she's asking for? Is it possible that Jessika Carr does get suspended as a referee, but returns as an in-ring talent to confront Becky Lynch? Is a twist like that on the way? It's definitely a possibility. But the whole lore of corrupt WWE referees deepens more with the New Day's recent tag team titles match. Becky Lynch was actually the one who pointed out some questionable actions by the referee in that match that went against the New Day. And Kofi Kingston dug deep and found out that the referee for their recent tag team titles match against Dragon Lee and AJ Styles just so happens to be a massive longtime friend and fan of them both. Kofi posted several pictures of the referee hanging out with AJ and Dragon Lee. So it's pretty hilarious that the WWE referees have all this incriminating evidence on their social media platforms and how superstars are now digging it all up. It's a great conspiracy that Becky and Kofi are now standing strongly behind, and it's hard to argue against them because, strangely enough, they both have some pretty solid points and evidence. It's also amazing that Becky and Kofi are creating this narrative online only, and it's only more intriguing and interesting than a large amount of the things that are happening right now on actual WWE television. So we'll have to see if this corrupt WWE referee conspiracy theory will stay as a social media exclusive storyline, or if it could carry over to television sometime soon. Coming fresh off Liv Morgan's return, fans were curious to see what narratives and directions WWE would take with Liv's usage. Were they going to dive into tension being there amongst Liv and Dominic, or between Liv and Roxanne? Well, the December 1st edition of Raw gave us that answer, and it was neither of those options. It appears that Liv's new role and direction is to put the Judgment Day back on top. In her absence, Liv said that the group pretty much fell off and was appearing weak to everyone. Now, Liv wants to change that around and make the Judgment Day run Monday Night Raw again. And by the end of the night, we actually saw Liv's plan of what it appears to be. Liv Morgan popped up backstage to briefly confront Stephanie and congratulate her on her recent world title win. But with Liv's eyes constantly landing on Stephanie's title during the interaction, it's clear what Liv wants. She wants to get her hands back on that world title that she held in 2024. And to close out Raw, we saw Liv lead an attack with Roxanne and Raquel to take out all the top teams in the women's tag team division. And then we got a big storytelling moment where Roxanne picked up the tag team title and posed with it. But remembering that Liv was now back, Roxanne handed it to Liv, but Liv handed it back to Roxanne and held up her arm along with Raquel's. Just like that, it's easy to see Liv's vision. She wants Raquel and Roxanne to win the tag team titles back. She's conceding the tag team titles to Roxanne and Raquel because Liv wants to go after Stephanie and the world title. And if all goes well, that means the three Judgment Day women would all be covered in gold. Liv is the world champion and Raquel and Roxanne as the tag team champions. And we're to assume that Liv would also push Finn and JD to go back after the tag team men's titles themselves, meaning that every single member of the Judgment Day would be holding gold. No one would feel left out. No one feels like an outcast. They'll all be on top together. So a pretty honorable plan there by Liv Morgan. She's not there to focus on the negatives and drag the group down. She actually wants to see everyone win gold, even Roxanne Perez. It's a big goal for Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day. Now we just got to see if they can pull it off. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.